Hey Christopher, how you doing? Here on the Soundtoys booth, here on Sunday morning. Very nice and mellow, isn't it? It's actually...
It is nice and mellow, yeah.
Take a breath, take a breath. I hope we've had a good show.
Yeah, we have.
So, as ever, I mean, I'm fortunate to get actually this close to the booth because there's been massive crowds around it the whole show from when I've seen. So, SuperPlate, right? I mean, that's the big product for you guys. I know it's been out a little while, but it's still, it's got a lot of legs, right?
Yeah, we released it about 9 months ago, but yeah, it's our latest plugin. It's an evolution of LittlePlate, kind of following on a theme with all of our plugins where we have, like with Echo Boy and Decapitator, it's not just one model of something, it's a model of almost every version of it that's ever come out. So with SuperPlate has five plate reverb models, so we basically modeled every commercial plate reverb that's ever existed. We had to go out and buy them all, bring them back to our office and study them, model them.
That must have been terrible for you. So what are big EMTs and that kind?
Yeah, we got an EMT-140, EMT-240. We modeled an Audicon E-Plate 3 is based on an Echo Plate 3, and then a Stocktronics plate reverb from Sweden.
Ah, right. So a good selection. So I'm just curious because I mean you're involved in the coding side of it, and I've never had a chance to talk to anybody about that. Is it kind of like IR based, or are you modeling the things? How does that kind of if you're
it's algorithmic.
Right.
It's an algorithmic model. So we came up with a generalized algorithmic model that could model all of the, all of the plates. So we had to look at them all first to kind of figure out what the characteristics and what we would need to be able to achieve that. So to be able to give the authentic sound of plate reverb, but also go beyond it to do things that only an algorithmic reverb can do.
Well, because plates have a characteristic that is unlike kind of anything else as well. They're so smooth, right?
Right. Yep.
So, what's your what are we looking at here then? What have we got playing in, and what do you want to show me?
So what we're going to show you is what we really want to show. The really special feature of SuperPlate that I think no other reverb has is a feature we've invented called auto decay. And where that came from is on LittlePlate, the decay time goes up to infinity, which real plates obviously don't do.
Yeah, wonderful.
Which is great, but the problem is you can't play into it because it'll build up and build up and build up.
Right.
So what auto decay does is when you play into it, you can turn it up to infinity, and when you start playing into it, it will turn down to a level that you set. The decay will turn down, not the output. And then when you stop playing, it'll hold on to it, and it can drone on forever.
Ah, okay. So it allows you also to kind of play stuff in key, and the dominant note will be whatever the last thing you played was.
Exactly. That's what makes it different from output ducking. Is output ducking is just going to turn the volume down on the output. When you turn the decay down, you're draining the energy from inside the reverb. So any notes that clash, anything that's inharmonic will kind of disappear, and it will only be like the last thing that you put into it that will sort of ring out.
So we're looking at this inside Effect Rack as well. So
that's right. Yep.
Does it work? It works in plug-in mode and in Effect Rack.
Yeah, it both has a solo plugin and an Effect Rack. And kind of what we'll demo here is Walker will play into it. We'll get a nice drone going, and then we'll throw some tremolator on it. And you can kind of play with like this infinite wash, which is a fun sound design thing.
That sounds like just the thing I need this morning.
For a Sunday morning. It's a good Sunday morning.
I'm so glad we're not listening to shredding guitar solos.
Yeah,
That's
no,
great.
yeah.
Unless you're going to play a shredding guitar solo over and no, he's not. Okay, brilliant. Thank you. Phew, that could have been awkward, couldn't it? Right.
Cool.
So yeah, well, let's go.
All right, we got Soundtoys' most talented guitar player here, Walker Allen. So this is kind of just a normal plate sound right now, and I'm going to turn the decay time way up, and we've already got the auto decay engaged, so you can see as he's playing into it, it's turning the decay time down to 8, but then when he stops, it'll just hold on to it and kind of drone out forever.
It's much cleaner, isn't it? It's less mush, right?
Yeah, yeah. So it's a way to be able to play into long reverbs, which are very fun, but are also unwieldy. So it gives you
you end up just being stuck to a kind of pedal note and a key usually, don't you? You can only play fifths and perfect intervals without it sounding weird. Yeah.
That's right, yeah. So in the rack, something I love to do is then slap other things onto that nice tail, like tremolator. You can get some, get a nice tremolated reverb there. And then you can open up Tremolator and you can start to
And make a rhythmic pattern, right?
Yeah, you can get.
I bet this would sound great on synths as well, right? Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, very, very nice with synths. The controls here for auto decay. There's a threshold you set, so when you go above it, it triggers. When you come below it, it releases. There's a recovery time that you can set depending on the dynamics of what you're playing. So if you want it to release quickly, if you have an instrument that stops abruptly, or if you have more like a synth pad, like you're saying, you might want to set the recovery time higher.
Right, gotcha.
Yeah, but getting those dialed in, you can really get a nice, smooth, kind of everlasting reverb without, clashing sounds or unwieldy buildup.
And again, because of the plate characteristics, you're not getting any kind of granularity to that decay because it's such a smooth, the plate, that's the thing about the plate characteristics. Mm-hmm. What plate are we on at the moment, by the way?
So this is my favorite one, my go-to. Everybody goes to the EMT-140 because that's the most famous one, but I'm a big fan of the E-Plate 3 style, which is based on the Echo Plate 3, which is a plate reverb that was manufactured in Chicago in the 80s. Nice. That's my favorite one. But these all have totally unique characters.
And if you switch algorithms now, does it click, or is it a kind of?
It's pretty smooth. The tonal differences are more apparent at the shorter times. So at the longer times, they all sound a lot more similar, but.
And they have kind of different stereo spread characteristics, because a lot of these plates they have stereo pickups, don't they? So you get the difference between when the sound enters the box and how it leaves and which corner and whatnot.
Right, I'm glad you brought that up because we also have stereo controls here on SuperPlate, which LittlePlate doesn't have. So there's a width control, and if you imagine that, that just narrows your stereo field. And then the balance control, it's not a pan, it actually rotates the stereo image. So if you have a stereo instance of the plugin and you set your width to here and then you turn the balance left, it's going to rotate the whole image and not just a simple pan.
Oh,
so there's lots of fun stereo tricks you can play with in there.
Oh, nice. So maybe we could listen to another couple of plates just for variance, if that's
sure.
Right.
Yeah. Let me. I'm going to turn the EQ off just so it's not dominating the sound here, or we'll just get it mostly out of the way. Okay. And then I'll take the tremolo off also. And the mix up here.
Because it sounds, at shorter paces, it actually sounds surprisingly authentic, doesn't it? In terms of space emulation, it's quite.
Yeah, and that's what I think is special about this plugin is it gives you authentic plate sound, but then it also does things that versatile algorithmic, ambient reverbs, will do too.
And now I'm going to put you on the spot here, but you've been studying these obviously because this is one of your products and you're the coder. Do you know who invented the plate reverb? Do you know where it actually first came from?
I
know that was an unfair question, but I'm not sure who was it. Maybe it was EMT.
EMT-140 is the first one that I know of. So yeah. Yeah,
it's like such a random kind of.
Yeah.
I know what.
I thought it might have been a trick question for a minute.
I'm going to try.
I think it's the EMT.
A massive plate of steel, and because I've seen there's a couple of guys on YouTube that make them. You can make plate reverbs yourself as well. It's quite with piezo pickups, isn't it? Onto a piece of metal and all that stuff.
Yeah, there's instructions we've seen online. You can make there's an IKEA plate reverb that can be made.
That one.
And that's one thing we talked about, like in development, we wanted an IKEA style, but unfortunately we didn't make it to do that one. But it would have been fun.
But I suppose there's not. I mean, you've got a limited amount of space here, but you could. Can you release more algorithms? As if somebody said, "I've got this thing," and you thought, "Yeah, we haven't heard that one before. It sounds amazing."
We can. We even have a couple that we cut, like at the end of development, that we could bring back. I would love to bring back, just to expand it in the future.
So I suppose we should have a moment for the kind of salesy part, which is how do you get it, how much does it cost, and all that sort of stuff.
Oh, well, actually I'm not a sales guy, so I don't know the retail price.
That's fine then, so we can skip that and it doesn't matter.
I think MSRP is $149, but frequently on sale. Keep an eye on our website. People. Yeah, upgrades $59 from LittlePlate. If you have LittlePlate, which a lot of people got for free.
Yeah, they got for free. That was a great route,
so effectively you can get it for $59, and then and sales for less than that here and there, it's just a part. You can also get it as part of our bundle. That's probably the best way to get it. Just get everything because, as you can see here with the rack, it all works together.
Yeah, fantastic. Thank you so much, Christopher.
Cool. Thanks, Nick. Good to see you again.
Thank you very much, Walker.